Good evening, Riveters, and welcome to another amazing edition of Rivet City's Remote Flash. I'm your host, Tritus. With me is Wolfpaw and Red. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks.
It's sunny out.
It is. Oh, it is. Last time you guys saw me, I couldn't speak, but I got it. So here we are. Alright, let's jump right into it. We're going to start with you, Wolfpaw. What do you got for us?
Alright, I've got a little hodgepodge of things.
Love hodgepodges.
Alright, first off, Google and I have become good friends tonight. I typed in I wanted just some random facts for the night, and then I found out Google decided random facts means here's a random question and a random answer. And you just keep clicking the button and it keeps giving you a new one. It also has the I am bored feature where it'll give you a list of Google games. And I was like, please Google, stop it. I don't need more time wasters.
It's like
so that was
it's a Google Stumble Upon.
Yeah, it's the Google version of Stumble Upon, and I somewhere around the fact that I learned the $1,000 bill had Grover Cleveland on it, I just had to put the phone down. My other.
I need to go confirm there's a $1,000 bill.
Yes, there is.
It is. It was released in 1918, and it had a small press printing re-release in 1934 to 1938.
They do exist, just like the $2 bill. They're not very common. They exist.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
See, I told you I got sucked into Google Facts. My next thing is Civil War starts apparently now.
Yeah, pretty much.
What is the point of opening day release anymore when it comes out at dinner time the day before? I swear to God.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, yeah, per our conversation before we started the broadcast, it basically comes down to this: to us, the fans, why, right? To the producers, money.
That's about where it's at.
Yeah, isn't Civil War blowing records for pre-sales?
Yeah, and everybody is saying that Civil War is like the best superhero movie ever made. And Kevin Smith came out on his Twitter and said, "This is the best one by far," which is saying something, because Kevin Smith.
But
Yeah.
Kevin Smith also just says a lot of things all the time.
Right. But that's also Kevin Smith staking his nerd reputation on it, and this is a guy who owns a comic book store.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. But yay! One of my favorite storylines, which is the story arc they're doing in the movies, is completely different than the comics. Which, speaking of comics, May 7th is Free Comic Book Day. So go to down at the local comic book stores. Every year on the first Saturday in May is Free Comic Book Day, where they hand out about 5 to 10, depending on when and where you go for your comics. They give you a bag and a bunch of free comics that the industry have decided to give away every year. And last year I went to the Source, and they had local artists and comic book artists there. So we had people with crafts they made that were nerdy. They had actual local artists that were selling their comics, like the Siamese. And every first Saturday in May, every year, it's Free Comic Book Day. And it's a great way to find a new series, get into a superhero you hadn't thought of given a chance to before. And it's just a great way to meet other nerdy people. Last year, the superhero, I can't remember their full acronym, but they're the group that goes out and helps charity events. They dress up as superheroes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Rochester?
No, it's the superhero charity group, Hero. I'll think of it because I'm going to end up going to Minnesota Comic Book Con, or the Comic Book Con or whatever, Minneapolis Comic Book Con at the State Fair this year, so I'll probably see them there.
Nice.
Yeah, but Saturday, free comics. I know Level Up is doing special deals going on.
Mm-hmm.
Got that going up on our page. Got their flyer promotional going up. I think that's pretty much all I have for grandeur of hodgepodge for the night.
Hodgepodge.
Good fudge.
That was good stuff. No, I really like it. So much happening this week. This is a big week in the nerdy world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the 4th, and now it's the 5th.
Yes, the Force was with us, and now the Sith are getting their revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And also the victory of the Mexicans. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Indeed.
Yes.
Or Drinko de Mayo, depending on how you look at it.
Cultural appreciation is it was the victory day of the Mexicans over such and such.
Yes.
Have to remember cultural heritage and such.
Absolutely, no. It's an incredibly important holiday for them. It's and I you know I keep meaning to go back and dig more today into that history. Should make a note to do that because it is interesting.
The more you know. It is not Mexican Independence Day. That is September 17th.
Yes, no, and that's and it's easy. Okay, it's not easy for them, but it's easy for people who are outside of it to make that
Assumption.
Yeah, that's for that.
But the more you know.
Yes, no, and the reason I made the Drinko de Mayo reference is because earlier 5 Second Films YouTube channel has a 5 second film on Cinco de Mayo. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Anyway, check that out. Okay, Red, talk to me. Us.
Well, earlier this week, I found a YouTube video. Someone strapped a GoPro to a rocket. So that'll be in the show notes.
That pleases me.
The GoPro survived on a rocket. GoPro. Rocket.
Ever see that video where somebody strapped I think it was the original model GoPro to a hot air balloon, went away into the stratosphere, the balloon pops, and then the GoPro just cascades down, hits the rocks, this is like in Arizona, and lives. The footage survives and the camera survives.
I've seen a GoPro attached to a squirrel.
So,
That was pretty funny, too.
I bet that was pretty nuts.
The last one there is. And then the other thing I got, there's going to be a transit of Venus or a transit of Mercury. Mercury is going to cross the sun, and that is on the 9th. So Monday the 9th, according to the SLU Observatory's map, Minnesota should be able to see the entire transit if you have a telescope. We'll be including the SLU Observatory link in the show notes, and that you'll be able to watch it live if you don't have a telescope or you live in an area in which you won't be able to see the entire thing.
Rock and roll.
That happens only a few times a century.
13. I was reading up on it.
Check that out. That's fast. I wish it. I'm going to go sell a kidney and then buy a telescope. How do you guys feel about that?
Everything needs more budget first. If you're selling kidneys, we need more equipment.
Yeah. Other
Well,
equipment comes first.
But if I sell a kidney, I should be able to get like 10 or 20 grand out of that. So you think?
Bergie.
Totally Bergie.
Studio first.
Studio Bergie, yeah.
I'm just saying.
No.
No.
Like if they spend like $500 on a telescope and $9,500 on it. Okay.
We will find uses for that $500 on everything else.
I only got one kidney though, so I can sell the other one, but
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
We'll just hodgepodge you a diuretic machine. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
I'm sure they'll be able to make synthetic ones in a few years anyway.
Right, exactly. Oh, now it's
But then when they do, the value of your actual kidney will probably drop.
I know. Well,
Exponentially, really.
I mean, you know, I'm expecting to be replaced almost entirely with robot parts in the next 20 years anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know, just based on my current medical history.
How many holes are in your diaphragm?
I've lost count. Like if I tried, I don't even want to try to count. Like I can't honestly fit them all on two hands. That's the weird part.
Lift with your back in a jerking, twisting motion.
All right. What else? You got anything else?
That's all I got.
Nice
I'm going to
shirt.
be streaming tonight, my first ever live stream.
Yes.
Woo!
So tell us what you're going to be streaming.
Well, I'm going to start with Borderlands. I bought the Handsome Collection, so I've got the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2. I'm pretty bad at shooters on console, so you'll have some entertainment. I've played a little bit so far. I'm at level 5. Didact is modding me, but he also said he wanted to play with me, so Didact may be bailing me out of some trouble too.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he has schlepped me through Borderlands as well, so if he can schlep me through, he can schlep you through for those difficult parts.
I wish it was cross-platform.
Yeah, it's a fun enough game. Just what I've played so far. When I get around to building my gaming rig, I will definitely be buying it on Steam.
Right. It is.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's the commentary, I think, is the best part about it.
Yeah. Gearbox knows their dialogue. That's for sure.
They do.
I mean, when a quest is entirely based on shoot me in the face, shoot me in the face, shoot me in the face, you know you're in an interesting.
Yes.
Yes. Anyway. Cool. Rock and roll. So, what time are you gonna be streaming tonight?
I'm gonna be on 10 to midnight. I might start up a little early since it's my first stream. Got to do the good old technical tests and all that stuff because I'm an IT guy and things.
Nerd.
I mean, I've already tested and retested and attempted it in stage, but this is our production go live, so yeah. Whenever Didac gets turned down from work and turned up to the game, it's probably when we'll start. Also, we have a new Twitch plugin on the site. I think it looks way better than the old one. So
I was just talking to somebody today about that, and they were looking at the site and they used that high praise. They thought that looked really good.
yeah. It's funny because when I installed the first Twitch plugin, it was the only Twitch plugin, and I was musing, man, we could certainly use a plugin that does all these things. Then as I was thinking of how to update it for now that we're all streaming, I decided to recheck and see what other Twitch plugins we might have, and there are several more. So,
Somebody read your mind.
yeah. There's another one I might poke at that might embed our streams right on the site. I'm just not quite sure where to put them. But WordPress is awesome.
We will have that conversation because I'm considering making that a separate piece. But that we can do offline.
Yep. Yay, Internet!
Internet! Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm going to rock through 3 very quickly because I got to, things. And I want to keep it brief, but things that, and by the way, all the things that we talked about, you guys should dig into. We'll have them all in the show notes. They'll deserve a little bit more exploring. On to what I was going to have 3 points. One, there is a study, a new groundbreaking trial into seeing if it's possible to regenerate the brain tissue of brain-dead people. Now, when this headline's been running around for the last couple of days. It's a really fascinating, interesting trial. Do not let the headline fool you. We are not resurrecting people from the dead. We are simply giving people who are brain dead but on life support the ability to possibly regenerate brain tissue and restore functionality. So what they're planning on doing, this biotech company has been granted ethical permission to recruit 20 patients, and recruit basically means talk to the families and see if it's okay, because he's brain dead, to try to re regenerate, resuscitate brain tissue using a combination of therapies, which would include injecting the brain with stem cells and a cocktail of peptides. And they would deploy lasers and nerve stimulation techniques, which have been shown in the past to bring patients out of comas. So a nice kind of interesting amalgamation of things to try on a test group of 20 patients to see how it goes. Which I'm really fascinated by. You know, that's always one of the concerning things is that, you know, what do you do, or what happens? You get in a car accident, your brain's toast, right? I mean, you know, this is something I've thought of every once in a while. You know, so if I get in a horrific car accident and I get shot with a silver bullet, you know, at
the same time.
Yeah, right. And if I become brain dead, like would I want them to pull the plug or whatever? Then this gives you an option. This is an option, right? And it's so amazing to have this even be on the horizon. It's fascinating. But what I wonder though is, since we know it was still, I mean, hardly dick about the brain in the first place, and if we're sitting regenerating brain tissue, like what gets lost in translation, right? I mean, you have a bunch of dead tissue sitting hanging around for a long time. I mean, there goes all those memories, that personality, possibly, right? Or does it find a way to restart that existing tissue and those cells still retain that memory and that data? I don't know. But I would wonder.
What is the soul, Bergie?
Well, but that's the discussion, right? And so you
metadome, purge, new computer compute in. It's a fresh format.
Right, and that's the thing is that, you know, you see these people coming out. Even though it does work in the regenerate brain tissue, I mean, these could just be basically like programmable bodies. Like like it'd be totally blank slate. Which, you know.
Is this how you want sleeper cells to start, Bergie?
Well, but that's what something that could happen. Like you have all some programmable humans. I mean, that's like
something Manchurian Candidate, something.
Right. But, I mean, that's obviously like one rabbit hole out of many rabbit holes. But I mean, just the thought, the idea of like all of a sudden now you could have a blank human basically. Like, what could be the ramifications and something like that? And then
I don't know. I know some blank humans that are already alive and functioning.
That's true. You got a point. More on that to come. Anyway, so dig into that. We'll put that in the show notes. Second thing, NASA has a little something called a Valkyrie humanoid robot.
Nice.
So I had no idea about this, but so there was a robotics company that just got this in their labs in Boston. It's a robot that they're testing out, building a crappy nod. It looks like friggin' Iron Man suit that they're wanting to use to deploy in space and on Mars, so they can basically remotely control it, and they can do all those things, you know, like a human can do, to test how we're going to function, and you know, maybe that we say we're going to go to Mars, we deploy a bunch of humanoid robots to go there first, and then do all this and set everything up, and then we can get the humans there. You know, the possibilities are endless, but they're deploying that right now. That's still in testing. Check it out, Valkyrie humanoid robot by NASA. I had a side thought to that too. I'm starting to wonder in naming things these days. I shouldn't say I started. I've been wondering this for a while. When we name stuff, like, are we just picking stuff out of a hat at this point? Because I don't know how this in any way like this is associated to the Norse goddesses who would pluck the fallen warriors off the battlefield and decide which ones go to Valhalla or not. I know it sounds like a cool name, but nothing to do with that.
Somebody opened up the mythology books and just were like, we're just going to start naming off.
Yeah.
Hack it on the wall, and then they start throwing darts at it.
Right.
So our movie idea generator. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, food for thought. So check that out. That'll be in the show notes. And I have a guest post. I was just introduced to something a few minutes ago. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about this, so this is fresh info. I'm going to send out some maybe a little bit more detail in the show notes once we're all said and done. So guest post. He doesn't know it's a guest post, but basically I say it's a guest post because he told me what it was, and so guest, our friend Daniel, told me about the solar plane that just got launched from Hawaii and just landed in Arizona. This, let's see, it landed in Arizona from Hawaii. The 745-mile trip took nearly 16 hours. The plane reached a maximum altitude of 22,000 feet. This plane's quest is to fly around the Earth completely on solar power. Done. So it just flew a straight shot from Hawaii to Arizona. Anybody who's had that flight, it's a long flight. And it can't fly nearly as fast, of course, as a regular 747. So it's going to take a little while.
Isn't this attempt 2? I thought a few years ago some people tried this, and
it might be because it's called the Solar Impulse 2. So
it's probably test 2.
Probably test 2, but yeah, no, it's kind of cool. I wish I had more time to dig into it. I'm gonna, but it's kind of a cool idea. So dig into that. I love
What do you think, Ren? Solar flight, awesome.
Solar flight. Do we get the puppy vote?
We got the puppy vote.
Puppy vote.
Yes. Is napping over there, so he's not voting.
He'll just hold his paw. That's how voting works, right? Yeah, dig into that. I for sure am gonna. And thank you, Daniel, for telling me all about that. All right, that's all I have for this evening. So I have a 7-bit update. I'm just gonna go ahead and just talk about it. I have no fancy release, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We're gonna do a little web series. It's gonna be essentially following an interesting little format. A pair of us are going to get in a car, we're going to film ourselves talking, and we're going to go to a comic book store. The entire thing is going to be called Nerds in Cars Getting Comics. And what we'll be doing is basically going to a comic shop with a pair of nerds or future nerds and just rotating people out as we'll see how the pilot goes, and going back and forth, just having a great dialogue about what's going on in the nerdy world, what's not Flash oriented, but mostly straight up comic oriented. So what's going on in the comic world? What's we're gonna do a Civil War review next week. So stuff like that. I'm excited about it. I think we have a really good strong idea, and I'm excited to film it out and see what it looks like. So look for that coming up as a web series. What do you guys think? Rock and roll?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Perfect. So you heard it here first, folks.
Folks first here.
Folks first. Sentences.
Yeah.
Words.
Nerds. All right. Perfect. Cool. That's what I have for this evening. If you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the comments in the site or on the YouTube channel. Go ahead, and if you dig our content, go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button. Buttons.
Click.
Yes. And or hit the subscribe button on our RivetCityLimited.com site, and you'll get an update every time we post something. Like us on Twitter @RivetCityLimited, or on Facebook, facebook.com /RivetCityLimited. Otherwise, we will see you guys next Thursday. Goodbye.